My name is Ndilanha. I'm the leader at Evin School of Management. Evin School of Management is a learning and development center, and also it's running independent center for research on organizational development and learning. And so for 20 years now, since 2006 when it was founded, we've been working with organizations and institutions to help them to be more stronger, more resilient, more impactful, and so that they can be able to deliver their services or their programs in a more impactful way. And part of our role and what we do with organizations and institutions is capacity building. And one of the areas where we focus is on strengthening the management and leadership, and also the governance in terms of board of directors. We help them in terms of recruitment, induction process, and also supporting them in terms of building capacity for them to make sure that they can be able to function their oversight role in a required way, in a proper way. One key difference for our approach is that we take board governance, accountability issues very serious. And so our focus is on the knowledge-based and value-based perspectives. But we think values are very key and very critical when you are selecting or when you are inducting board members. And so factoring values when you are selecting and nominating board members, we think this is very critical. Before I go further, I kindly request you to spend 2-3 minutes to watch the next case study, and so you'll be able to understand why we think and we argue that values are very important for senior management board members when you are nominating them or when you are selecting them, should be factored in apart from or in addition to academic qualification, work experience, and membership associations.
We have very different medical systems in our two countries, seemingly, in the US and the UK. But this propaganda, as you call it, has been widespread worldwide, right? So what is at the root of that?
Yeah, so you ready to know what it is? What's the root of that? In 2016, this is all you need to know, actually. In 2016, Tel Aviv University in Israel conducted a study, 500,000 patients in 49 countries. It was the largest study ever done on high blood pressure. And they found 49 countries, 500,000 people, that the individuals who consumed the most salt every single day had the best blood pressure readings and the most normal blood pressure readings. And all the individuals who consumed 3 times the amount the FDA tells you should consume salt every day, every person around the world that consumed 3 times that amount had better blood pressure readings than anybody who took the FDA readings. Now, they publish in The Lancet in the UK where you are. The Lancet is a medical journal. They publish the results of the study, that the more salt someone consumes, the better their blood pressure is, and the lower their risk factors for stroke and heart attack become. When you just asked me why and who benefits from this lie, why would they tell us this lie? Did you see that when that was published by The Lancet, did you see who threatened The Lancet with pulling their funding if they publish that study and don't retract it?
No.
The American Heart Association threatened The Lancet and told them, you publish that study, we're going to pull all of your funding. You have to retract that study. All right, so the next question for you is, why would the American Heart Association be angry at a medical journal for publishing a study, largest one ever done in history, proving that salt intake, the more salt you eat, the lower your risk factor for high blood pressure, strokes, and heart attacks is. Why is that a threat to the American Heart Association? Which, by the way, is the highest revenuing medical association in the whole world.
What?
Why would the American Heart Association threaten the actual medical journal with their publishing of that study if they don't retract it? What's the threat to the American Heart Association if that truth was to get out?
Tell me.
The American Heart Association's 90% of all their funding comes from the pharmaceutical industry. The
Right.
drug makers of high blood pressure drugs and stroke drugs and heart attack drugs. So if the majority of their funding comes to them from high blood pressure drug manufacturers like Merck, Pfizer, and others, of course they're going to see this journal as a threat and this article as a threat, because if people started eating more salt in their diet and they read that study and medical doctors got a hold of that information and that truth, they would start telling their patients to eat more salt. Well, does Pfizer own salt companies? Not that I'm aware of. Does Merck own salt companies? Not that I'm aware of. But even if they did, salt is cheap and it's a natural resource that you can't patent, typically, unless you change its formula. So this was the ultimate threat to the American Heart Association is it will reduce sales of high blood pressure medications, stroke medications, and heart disease medications. If the truth gets out that salt in increased amounts than what the governments are telling us will reduce our risk of heart attacks and strokes. So who did the lie benefit the most to tell all of society that salt is bad for you and lower your salt intake? Who did it benefit from the beginning?
Terrifying. The
It's
pharmaceutical
the drug companies.
Yeah.
The drug companies that make the high blood pressure drugs. Okay, so
And so, we use the pyramid of growth, which is the fourth generation activity theory. It helps us within the 4 levels of growth to understand and to onboard the body members. We start by looking on their knowledge, skills, and ideas. And we bring on top of the knowledge, skills, and ideas the values. We argue that knowledge, skills, and ideas should be aligned to 6 principles. Knowledge should respect health, safety, quality, and standard of living of people. We see on the case studies, the knowledge from the professional bodies did not pay respect to this health, safety standard and the life of the people. Lots of lives. Number 2, knowledge, value, knowledge, skills, and idea should pay respect to property, value for money, efficient use of resources, performance, effectiveness, and improvement. We want to improve longevity. We want to improve well-being of the people. We want to improve lifestyle of people. We want to make people happy. But we can see from the case studies, knowledge, skills, and idea did not pay attention to the longevity of these people, did not increase the lifespan of the people. We see knowledge is even shortening the lifespan of the people, which is a major issue. We are not told on the case studies, but we want knowledge to respect biodiversity and the ecosystem. These are some of the things which we could go and look at on how the manufacturing process, the active ingredients which are used in the process, where are they coming from? Are there no destruction of nature? And for governing boards which can approve this kind of prescriptions, no wonder these are the companies which they, on the manufacturing process, we will not be surprised if they don't look on how they look on the plastics issues, waste management, carbon emission, all these other destructions. But knowledge, skills, and ideas, number 4, knowledge, skills, and idea should pay respect to justice, social norms, diversity, age and gender, inclusiveness. What we see here is they don't look into how they impact the community, how they impact people, how they impact the older people. It's not a respect, because knowledge, skills and idea need to pay respect. And we will see on the case studies, most of the people who have effects of high blood pressure, these are older people, and sometimes these are people also who are disadvantaged or who have disabilities. And so we want to see knowledge, skill and idea respect, pay respect to social norms and justice. Even if these people cannot defend by themselves, they are not professional in that area. Knowledge, skills and idea should be able to protect people who are not professional, who are disadvantaged people. Older people, they cannot stand by themselves, they cannot say by themselves. But we see professionals who have knowledge cannot, they are using their knowledge to the disadvantage of other people. Number 5, knowledge, skills and ideas should promote innovation. Knowledge, skills and ideas should respect innovation. This is a question of, this is science, but we see knowledge does not respect innovation, technology. The use of technology is important to help humanity. Instead of lying, we encourage more innovation, use of technology. People should innovate fearlessly, and technology should not bring harm. Technology should save, should promote livelihood, should promote living, should promote longevity. But we don't see this on the case study. And finally, knowledge, skills and idea should pay respect to information. Disclosure is very important. Transparency of information is very important. Yes, as much as confidentiality is important. And so we think that all these boards should have been promoting transparency. The publishing journal should not be attacked. Researchers were not supposed to be attacked, because information should respect transparency, should be shared widely. However, we do understand that patents, intellectual rights, these should be kept and should be protected. So you can see from the case study, this is not the case. I hope you have enjoyed my small presentation. Please go through the numbers that we are giving you there. Call us for more discussions. We can guide you in a more proper way, in a more professional way on how you can start thinking, recruiting, how to recruit, how to select, how to do an induction of the board members for your own organization.